Welcome back. We're talking about slope-intercept form. Here we're given the graph of several lines, and we want to find the linear equation that describes this line, or each line, and put it in slope-intercept form. Now let's get a quick refresher of what slope-intercept form is. Slope-intercept form comes in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope, and b is the y value of the y-intercept. Okay, so wherever the line crosses the y-axis, the b value is the y value of that point, that particular point. So let's go ahead and do a few examples. Let's look at A first. We have this red line. We want to know the linear equation that describes this line, and we want it in this form. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to need a few pieces of information, and they're actually picked out for us. The components that we need are the slope and the b value of the y-intercept. So first, to find the slope, we're going to have to pick out 2 points on the line and plug them into our slope formula. This is something we know how to do. And as we know, when we're picking out points, we want to be smart about the points we pick out. We want to pick out small numbers to make our calculations easier, but also to make our calculations easier, we want to pick out what's called lattice points. Lattice points is just a fancy word that means whole numbers. We don't want to add, we don't want to subtract fractions when we can subtract whole numbers. I'd do that, pick whole numbers any day of the week and twice on Sunday. So this point goes to the origin, so that's a no-brainer. That's a 0, 0 coordinate. And we also have a point right here at 1, 1. So these are 2 very simple points that we can derive our slope from. So to find our slope, we simply take the difference in the y-coordinates and divide it by the difference in the x-coordinates. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 0 minus 1, it's our y-coordinates, divided by 0 minus 1, which is our x-coordinates. This gives us minus 1 divided by minus 1. We can cancel the negative signs. This gives us a slope of 1. Okay, so we have our slope. Now we need to find our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is the point that has an x value of 0, and we actually have one right here. So our y-intercept is the y value of our y-intercept. So our y-intercept, or b, in our slope-intercept form equation is 0. And this is a no-brainer when it goes to the origin. Our y-intercept will be 0. So our slope-intercept form would be y equals slope times x. Our slope is just 1, so just x, and then plus the y value of the y-intercept, so 0. So we don't write our 0, so the slope-intercept equation for this red line is y equals x. Okay, very straightforward. Let's look at another one. Let's look at b. B is this green line right here. Let's pick out a couple points that are very conducive to finding the slope. We have a point here at minus 1 and 0. And we also have a nice point right here at 0, minus 2. Okay, notice how we're picking these points. It makes calculations very simple. Let's go ahead and find our slope. We have 0 minus a minus 2. Always be careful with our signs. I like putting negative numbers in parentheses so the signs don't get jumbled. And then for our difference in our x-coordinates, we have minus 1 minus 0. These 2 negative signs will cancel, so we have 2 divided by, well, just a minus 1, which gives us a slope of minus 2. Now we need a y-intercept. Y-intercept. And this will be where the point that the line crosses the y-axis, which is at minus 2. So our equation, our linear equation in slope-intercept form is y equals the slope, which is minus 2, times x, and our y-intercept, which is minus 2. And that's our linear equation for the line B. Okay, let's look at C. Where is C? C is this purple line. Let's go ahead and pick a couple points. We have one right here at 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 4. And we have another point right here at 1, 0. This should be very simple to solve. So we have 4 minus 0 divided by 0 minus 1. This gives us a 4 minus 1. 4 divided by minus 1, and that gives us a minus 4 for our slope. Let's go ahead and find our y-intercept. And once again, we picked out two pretty good points. We have a 0 for an x value right here, so our y-intercept is 4. And that gives us our slope-intercept form of minus 4x and a plus 4 for our y-intercept. And that's all there is to it. Let's do a couple more. We have D is this blue line right here. Now this looks like a horizontal line, which we should automatically think has a slope of 0, but just to be sure, let's go ahead and pick out a few points and plug them into our slope formula. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have the point 0, minus 5. And we need another point. Let's just make it an easy one. Let's take this point right here at 1 minus 5. Okay, and let's go ahead and plug it into our slope equation. We have minus 5, our slope formula, minus a minus 5. Careful with our signs. We have 0 minus 1. These two negatives cancel. Minus 5 and positive 5 is 0 over minus 1, so this actually does have a slope of 0. So this is indeed a horizontal line, and all horizontal lines have a slope of 0, which makes sense because with every move that we make to the right or left on the x-axis, there's no change in the y-axis. Okay, so there's no rise as far as run goes. Let's go ahead and find a y-intercept. We have a point right here that has an x value of 0, so the y-intercept is minus 5. So we have the slope-intercept form of, well, 0 times x is just 0, so we're just going to have a minus 5. So y equals minus 5. This is going to be the form for any horizontal line because the slope will be 0, which means that this slope runs through all the points where y is equal to minus 5. So this line runs through the point 0 minus 5 and all the points in between. Okay, really cool to think about. We have E, which is this brown line. Let's pick out a couple points for this one. We have a point right here, which is, what is that, 0 minus 1. Can't overstate the importance of picking out whole numbers, very easy numbers to work with. We also have a point right here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at 5, 0. Let's go ahead and find our slope. We have minus 1 minus 0 divided by 0 minus 5, which gives us a minus 1 divided by a minus 5. Negative signs cancel, so our slope is 1 over 5. Okay, and this makes sense because this line is pretty flat when it comes to trajectory, so our slope is going to be small the flatter the line is. All right, let's go ahead and identify the y-intercept. We're going to take the y value of the y-intercept, and right here we have it as minus 1. All right, so the slope-intercept form for this equation is y equals 1/5 x, excuse me, and then the y-intercept at minus 1. Okay, so this is the slope-intercept form of this brown line right here, this line E. All right, let's look at our last one. F is, we scroll up, is this yellow line right here. This is another good one. This is another easy one because it runs to the origin, so that's just a no-brainer for one of our points. Anytime we can have 0 in our calculations, that makes things much simpler. Okay, and we have another point, looks like right here at minus 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So minus 1 and minus 4. So minus 1, minus 4. And just by looking at this line, we should have a very large slope because the line is fairly steep. But let's go ahead and calculate it. We have 0 minus a minus 4 divided by 0 minus a minus 1. Minus 1. Okay. These signs cancel, which gives us 4 divided by 1, or just a slope of 4. Okay? So we have a positive 4, a slope of positive 4 here, whereas this purple line, we had a slope of a negative 4. It was also very steep, but it was sloped in the negative direction. Okay, we always want to pay attention to our signs, because if our slope doesn't look like it adds up to what the line looks like, then we know that we missed a sign or we did some miscalculation. All right, so our y-intercept, anytime we have a line going through the origin, our y-intercept is 0. So our equation in slope-intercept form is y equals our slope, which is 4 times x, and then our y-intercept is 0, so our equation is just y equals 4x. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're taking, we went back and forth, we went in the reverse order in the previous section, where we took an equation and we graphed it. Now we're taking a graph and trying to find the equation of the line, and we do so by the information that we know. We know the slope-intercept form of an equation, and we know that we're going to need two very important components, the slope and the term b, which is the y value of the y-intercept. So we need to make sure we make good decisions when we're picking out 2 points, so we have actually very simple calculations and we can make life much simpler. So review this, and we'll do some more examples in the next section. I'll see you soon.